Good morning. Welcome to Level Up Live. I am your host, Jen.Cohen. Happy Thursday to all of you, or Friday Junior, or Friday Eve, or whatever you like to call it. Happy day to all of you. So, a few folks have already made it into the chat, but I wanted to talk about first our topic for the day is gratitude because it's always Thursday or gratitude days. Gratitude for saying no without explaining yourself. And I will admit that I am still working on this. When I say no to something, I tend to feel like I need to explain and give a reason, give a why. And I think for me at least, that's because of my background in learning and development. And one of the key things in adult learning is to make sure that you provide the why, that you give people a reason for why they're doing this task or why they're following this process or whatever it is that you're trying to convey. So when I say no, I typically explain myself. So I'm not a great example for today's topic, but thought that everybody could chime in and let me know where you are on your journey. So let's go ahead and say hey to a bunch of folks who have made it into the chat. First one in was Mr. Eddie Lugo. Brooklyn is in the house. Yo, my friend. Thank you for being here. Mike with Cruise Nuts. Thanks for being here, Mike, and good morning to you too. And Scotty J. Whoop, whoop. Good morning to you too, sir. And hearts back at you. Appreciate you being here. So folks are shouting out to each other. And Danny Dizzle Supermod, award-winning Supermod, is here with a yo. And Chet from Sea Leg Journeys is saying happy Thursday. Thank you, Chet, and to you and Robin from Sea Leg Journeys too. Folks all shouting out to each other. I want to make sure I don't miss anyone. Ron with the Fam Adventures, thank you so much for being here. And good morning to you too. And let's see who else has made it in. Deb Rogers. Hey, Deb, how are you? So great that you are joining us from around the world, halfway around the world. I definitely appreciate you being here. Denise with Bone Tired Travelers is joining us. Hearts to you, my friend. Hope you are having a good day. And Antoinette at Fun, thank you for being here. So great to have you in. So folks still saying hey to each other, which is awesome. And Tom from TNT Adventures to Sea coming in on the CME raid. I was running late this morning and only got to see a little bit of the show, but I thought that Kurt was asking a really great question about favorite or best cruise itineraries. So that was really a good thing. So you are saying hey to the fam and to Antoinette. And Deb says, last night I was on my Play Big course and they were talking about how we all say sorry for no apparent reason at all. It's all about the language we use. I am so guilty of that, of saying sorry when there's nothing to be sorry about, when there's no issue to be sorry about, but I say it almost spontaneously. So yeah, that's a problem for me. I'm glad that you brought it up in that course, and I think it's a valid one. Tom and Terry are at a 10-day countdown. You are definitely in KMA territory. Absolutely. Can't wait to see what you guys do with that and the time that you have. So I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful cruise. And Laura is driving and listening, but happy to see everyone. We're happy to have you here, Laura. So great to have you in. So Tom's asking, Chet, did you see Sensei got us in trouble? I am not surprised that Sensei Rabbit got you in trouble. He's saying, I'm sorry. There we go, chiming in with that. So are there other instances where people have found that they are able to say no without explaining yourself. Is that a skill that you have been able to develop, or is it something that you've always been able to do? Like I said, I'm terrible about it, so I am not a great example of that. And Kurt coming in with a big ol' hello. Good morning, Kurt. I was just saying that I really liked the question this morning about the different itineraries. My choice was the ABCs. And Monica joining. So great that you are here. Hope you are feeling better and have a wonderful day. Greetings to everyone as well. Thank you, Monica. I am. I got my diagnosis a couple of weeks ago and have changed my diet and how I'm eating pretty radically, and that seems to be helping. So I appreciate you asking, though. And Winston coming in on Twisted Nerve saying good morning. And thank you so much for the gift of a membership to Eddie's channel. You are more than welcome. I love being able to do that. Chet says, Sensei been running wild. When isn't Sensei Rabbit running wild? That just seems to be, par for the course. And Captain Controversy, Scott from Scottsdale, coming in and saying hello to the Level Up fam. Hello to you, Scott. So great that you are here. Tom says when he was young, no was hard to say. Now it just rolls off my tongue. I can appreciate that. And a couple of folks have chimed in with hashtag tribe, which is going to put your YouTube channel link into the chat so other folks can find you. And Tom says, by the way, my friend's daughter that kept throwing up was her vape. Oh, yeah, that can definitely do it. And Antoinette says, it's hard for me to say no, but getting better at it. I appreciate that. And Kurt says that he can say no, it's easy, and really don't like to explain the why. See, there's my problem, because I tend to explain the why I'm saying no. And the explanation for me feels like a natural to go ahead and actually explain why I'm saying no. I don't know if that's a throwback to like my childhood or my younger years, but I am trying to get better at just saying no. And that now that I found Terry telling cute girls no is so easy. Tom, I get that. That's true. I feel the same way about Chef Todd. That's something that I don't have a problem saying no to. If I can't say no, I say no habla inglés. But Robin from Sea Leg Journeys doesn't buy it. That's hilarious, Chet. Oh my gosh, that is too funny. No habla inglés. I will have to try that with Chef Todd. I have a feeling he's not going to fall for it either. Love that everybody is shouting out to each other. I really do appreciate the interaction that our group has. So what are some times when you have been able to say no and not provide an explanation? So I'd love to hear your stories of that. Mine, as I said, are very limited because I tend to explain. So that's why this topic kind of really resonated with me, is because I'm not good at it. I can say no, but, then comes the explanation as to why I said it. So that, and to Deb Rogers' point saying I'm sorry, I do that all the time. If someone is trying to get by me in a public space, I'll say, oh, sorry. Just like randomly, even though I wasn't doing anything, it just happens and it just rolls. Tom wants to know, What if it's someone who's Mexican, Chet, and Chet says I have a heavy accent so they don't understand me? I love it. Now, Mike is telling us that most people are humble and generous, have a hard time saying no because they don't want to disappoint the person they're saying no to. I am definitely a people pleaser, and I know that that's a thing for me. Tom's saying that he and Terry did a timeshare vacay in Mexico for a cheap price, but had to say no to buying a lot. I have been on those trips before, and that is a lot of saying no. I totally agree with that. Now, Kurt said I had to explain everything to my parents and ex-wives. I think that's where it comes from, is just I'm used to it being how I was raised, and providing that explanation is just so natural to me. And Danny says she hears Miss Willow. I was hoping I would be able to keep it quiet with being on a different mic today, but apparently not. She is in a little bit of a crazy mood this morning, and she has been having a wicked case of the zoomies for quite a while. She's finally starting to settle down now. So you may not hear too much more of her, but we will see. Now, I do want to remember something that I have been neglecting to do since starting back up on regular broadcasts, and that is on Thursdays to choose an affirmation for a badass. I have these cards. I am going to go ahead and shuffle them in the poor manner that I shuffle, and we will pick a card. Okay, so today's affirmation is, she's not here to impress anyone. She's here to conquer. I think that could ring true for anyone, not just a she, but, oh, I grabbed two cards. There it is. She's not here to impress anyone. She's here to conquer. So let's take that forward with us for the rest of the day and the rest of the week until next Thursday, because that is a great affirmation. Now, Tom is saying that it felt bad, but I used to help so many in need, but have to limit what I do now. Being a homeowner makes money so much tighter. 100%, Tom. We had a kind of a running, I don't know if it was a joke because it's true, but we had a running thing when we were in our house where we called it home moanership, because there was always something to do. There was always something to fix, something to paint, something to sand, something to replace. There was always something going on. And when we moved into our townhouse, the fact that we don't have to deal with landscaping or snow removal or roof repairs, things like that, are huge thing to be off our plate. But I will say that there's still interior. There's always something to do. There's always something, like I said, that needs to be painted or needs to be refinished. We've replaced the carpet in the hallway, the stairs, and the basement, but had not replaced it in the bedrooms yet. I don't know if we're going to do that or if we're just going to hold out and literally sell our townhouse in an as-is condition and not be worried about it, because that is something that drives me crazy, is when people do something like redo their kitchen or paint the entire house or something like that right in time to move, just to kind of set up the move or the house to be staged better. And in my mind, if I'm going to do stuff like that, I want to enjoy it. I want to do it while I'm here and while I'm in the house. So yeah, that's a big one with home ownership. We put so much into my truck, and now a basement flood and new projects are killing us. I totally understand that. And basement floods are a nightmare. One of the things that was our criteria when we were looking for a townhouse is no basement. We had so many basement floods in our house in Deerfield that I lost count of either rainwater or sewer, which of course one is far worse than the other. But we were so tired of it and so tired of the cleanup and everything else that we insisted that we not look at places that had a basement. Danny is saying, wow, crazy Tom, darn the basement flood. Yeah, that is awesome. And Mike says, just move to the coast, buy a tough shed, and when it blows away from the hurricane, just order another one. Done. Great way for us to move to Florida. I appreciate the recommendation, Mike. I love that. We are talking about moving when Chef Todd retires in 4 years. So we will see where everything lands and where we end up. But I do believe it's going to be Florida. I do believe it's going to be the Sunshine State. Chet says that he hears you, Tom. New roof, new AC, pool pump, root canal, truck repair, new leg, etc. That's a lot, man. That is a lot, Chet. So I understand that, and I am still getting the bills for when I was in the hospital in November, and now also seeing the bills from my tests that I've had done, and that, from a medical bill standpoint, is a major drag. So Tom says, I want to move south, but Terry loves the people, and believe it or not, she loves the weather too. Really? Wow, good for her, because I cannot stand it. Every year I get less and less tolerant of the winters in the Chicagoland area, and the cold just goes through me like a knife. It is awful. I cannot stand it. And, you know, for all of these years, we have stayed in the Chicago area because of family being here, because that's where we were located. And as some family has moved away and the grandkids are getting a little older, so they're not quite as into spending time with us. And in another 4 years, they really won't be, because they're going to be 16 and 12, and it's going to be all about their families or all about their friends and their social commitments and their activities and all of that. So at that point in time, I think we're going to definitely move south. So the banner across the bottom of the screen today is reminding you that if you make a donation to Helping Hands for Cruising, either a $25 one-time donation or a recurring donation of any amount, it can be $5 a month, and it still will count towards this. I will provide you with a full set of Chef Todd's Valentine's Day recipes, which included the cream spinach, the au gratin potatoes, the strawberry souffle, and obviously he made a steak, which doesn't really have a recipe, but that was part of the meal. So Tom says we can't, oh, okay. We came from Huntington Beach, California. The coast costs a lot, especially in California. For sure it does. And John Gabler is in. Hey, JG, how are you today? The weather in the north sucks. Jody will not move because of her mother, who is in bad health. I understand that, and that has been another thing that has kept us here. Is my mother-in-law lives locally, and we are able to do things for her. I mean, Chef Todd does her shopping for her on a weekly basis, takes her to doctor appointments, all kinds of things like that. So that has been another reason why we've stayed put. And quite honestly, if the time comes in 4 years and she is still with us, God willing, I don't know. I think we'll probably take her with. So, oh, Tom is saying if you donate the 25, I'll give you more recipes and wine advice. Wow, thank you, Tom. I appreciate that. Helping Hands for Cruising is a great cause and one that I support wholeheartedly. It really is a great way to support first responders, Gold Star families, people who have had hardships, and caregivers as well. So it's a wide variety of people who get put on cruise ships so they can experience the open ocean for themselves. Mike is recommending to Tom that if they move to Cozumel, eat fish you catch off the coast, drink tequila water, watch the sunset while eating street tacos. Oh my gosh. I haven't even thought of moving to a different country, which is funny because my parents and my sister recently did. Last October, they actually moved to Portugal, so which is having some interesting weather right now. They have had a bunch of flooding and tons of rain and stuff like that, which, I mean, you can't escape it. There's going to be something about the weather that you don't really like pretty much anywhere you go. So I get that. I mean, even when I talk about Florida, I know that the summers are super hot and humid. I've lived in Florida before. I lived in Jacksonville for a period of time, and I know what that's like. At the same time, the thing that my father always said about living in Arizona when it was really, really hot is he still doesn't have to shovel sunshine. So I kind of go with that, and I would rather have the heat than the cold, definitely. So we have folks in the house, but if you are enjoying the show, please make sure to hit the thumbs up. It feeds the YouTube algorithm and my ego, which is infinitely more important. So Tom is saying that he has a lot of friends in Costa Rica. Terry won't do it, but I would love to. I kind of want to keep her. I understand that. And JG is saying, I don't go any place the critters are trying to kill you. Well, then Australia is off the bucket list for you, sir, because in Australia, between spiders and snakes and all kinds of things, insects that they have that can take your life, it is a precarious thing to do. Even though I know a number of people who are either from Australia or still living in Australia. And for me, it is definitely on the bucket list, but I have no interest in like checking out the outback and encountering any of the deadly animals because I am a big baby. So yeah, that's just not going to happen. So let's talk some more about gratitude and things that we are thankful for. So Deb is chiming in with spiders, sharks, snakes. And Deb is one of my friends who is actually from Oz. So yeah. Back in the 80s, we moved to Florida and it almost led to divorce. Okay, that sounds interesting. I'm curious as to why. Was it the location or the weather or what was causing such a horrible strain? I lived in Florida in the late 80s. I was, like I said, I was in Jacksonville for a period of time, and that's actually where my daughter was born. Laura is saying things in Australia killing you is a fallacy. Okay. Denise says, and a dingo will eat your baby. Oh my gosh. That is hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. Okay, well, I am going to go ahead and wrap things up. I want to encourage you all to go through And check out Go Live Together. They are coming up just so close. And Mike is saying, I wake up every day thanking the Lord for another day, and every breath I take, thanking the Lord another day to spend with my beautiful wife. Oh, I'm on my headset, so they're not going to be able to hear you.
Well, take me off the headset.
Okay, give me a moment, people. Okay.
Can you hear me, everybody?
Let's see. Can we give thumbs up if you can hear Chef Todd now? We can hear you.
All right, you want to watch me level up with my wife? Here you go. I'm out of here, people. Have a good day. I'm on my way to Wisconsin. Love you all. Mwah.
Love you. Be safe. Okay. Here we go. Maybe if we get a small place near Sea Legs, Terry will decide it's great. That's a plan. That could be a plan, Tom. Okay. Oh, you could hear him. Great. Now John is saying that Jody hated it and he loved it. The kids loved it. She gave me the ultimatum. We move back or she moves back. Wow. Okay. That's a time to make the decision then. And I guess the weather wasn't as much of a concern for her. I get it. It's not Todd the floating. It's Todd, not the floating head. I know I don't have a background up this morning. I'm actually going without it. Denise says it's not that kind of show. Of course it is. Of course it is. Absolutely 100%. And we are cracking her up. Awesome, Denise. Now, Chet is saying they built about 1,000 new houses around me. Holy cow. That's a lot. It's a lot of construction. So, bow, chicka, bow, bow. I love it. He is actually off camera dancing. So, that is very funny. Okay, I am going to go ahead and sign off. Like I said before, please make sure that you go over and check out the Go Live Together squad, their team with Cheryl, Jeremy, Eddie, Ryan. I don't know if Ryan is back from his cruise or if Ricky is back from being on assignment, but go over, check them out. And thanks for coming in, Savage Vlogger. I appreciate you, Batman. And I appreciate that you liked and shared. Thank you so much. And, oh, Denise, good luck with the doctor appointment. Let me know how that goes. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful day. Take care, everyone. Mwah. Love you. Stay weird, people. Bye.